Hey folks, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we have a special treat. We're going to one of my favorite breweries, Burial Beer Company, and we're going to have their Shadowclock Pilsner. It's out of Asheville, North Carolina.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. We're back to do that again. Appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you've never done so, please be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell. With that, I've got Andy in the attic in his pirate patch. I've got Jay. What are we drinking today, matey?
Semi-appropriate, I guess. I mean, we're going to the Burial Beer Company out of Asheville, North Carolina. One of my hands-down favorite breweries. We're going to have their Shadowclock Pilsner. So I am excited to have this one. I don't believe I've had it. It does say 40 degrees on here, so I hope you guys warmed it a little. But
you were showing the other side. I was like, wait, I didn't
yeah,
even look at the
it's
back
two
of it.
different sides. Yeah, you got
that?
the shadow clock. Come on
I
there,
was like,
Andrew.
what? I didn't look at the back of it. I was looking at the side. I was like, wait, but Jay, you got a different one.
Let's crack it. Come on.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm ready to get my hook into it.
Really?
A little fizzy.
Yeah, it's a little carbonated there. I mean, just slight head.
A wee bit.
Not bad. See, I'm gonna salvage it a little bit. Glad I got my toe.
Got it on your toe.
No, I said I'm glad I got my towel.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about your toes too.
Right. This
episode
is
quickly going downhill.
Yeah.
All right. Clean up and I.
Yeah, it has to do with that depth perception, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. It's an interesting flavor from a Pilsner.
Yeah.
A German Pilsner at that. So it's 5.5%, 30 IBUs, uses German barley and American corn. It's dry hopped with Sterling and Tettnanger hops. And also the regular hops are Saaz, Saphir, and Tettnanger. So it's got a lot of German style hops. It's got some noble hops in there. It's unfiltered. So a little haze to it. Yeah, that's pretty good. So honestly, I'd never the name Shadowclock. I've never heard of a sundial referred to as a shadow clock. We'd always called them sundials. So yeah. Before I could have looked at the can before I looked up what is a shadow clock, and of course it's
it's on there.
Silly, yeah, I know, but I was just. I don't look at the cans the first when I start researching some of our beers. It's got a great little
right up on the back
poem reference. I like how it said, basking in the rays of the sun, the clock casts a new shadow and ushers in refreshing new life.
Yeah.
The shadow clock. And I thought, interesting enough, the can with the so you've got, it's hard to say if this rabbit is full of life, it's basking, and then it's decomposing, it's met its demise. this plays into Burial Beer Company's kind of theme for all their beers. But before we get into all that, I thought it was pretty interesting. Did y'all read the novel or see the old movie from the 70s, Watership Down? With
Never
the
heard of
bunnies,
it.
with the rabbits. Yeah. It's kind of like they're anthropomorphized, and they form a society and they're looking for a new place to live, and it shows them, you know, challenging each other for power and then wants and desires. It's pretty neat, but it's based in it's an English novel, and Watership Down is the name of the hill that they come to live on. But it's kind of grotesque. I mean, some brutal fight scenes among rabbits killing themselves. So. But if anybody knows what I'm talking about, this is very reminiscent of Watership Down with those little bunnies.
Only on this show are you going to connect a Burial brew can to Watership Down.
I doubt it's only on this show. I'm sure there's other people out there who are familiar with it.
This is it. Only show.
This is it. There's no others.
Calling it.
So Burial Beer Company is out of Asheville, North Carolina. It's a microbrewery that started in 2013. Three friends, or two of them were brothers, but three guys. They were in Seattle, but they wanted to look for a place for a brewery, and so that's when they settled in the Asheville area. I started with a one barrel system, and the brand is inspired by burial, the reference to burial, and the brand is inspired by New Orleans, where the brothers had lived for a while. Second, due to the celebration of life through funeral processions and parades. They celebrate life. So the references on a lot of the cans celebrate life's fleeting moments with mindfulness and introspection. They celebrate artistry and history. So if anybody is familiar with Burial Beer Company's cans, and actually the titles of their beers, they're very deep. And actually, this is the shortest beer name of a burial beer that I can think of.
Surf Wax.
But that's two
words.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still it's less letters. I mean,
yeah. So usually they're almost like a sentence or a phrase.
And we have several others that we'll be publishing in the near future.
Yes. They do
great work. They're known for a lot of their creativeness around their IPAs and their stouts and other high ABV types as well. So, but their IPAs are just some of the best I've ever had.
Yeah. So, based on all that, they say some view burial as a necessary step to reach the afterlife. They get really deep into some of the stuff. They celebrate the things that have passed, the things that still are, and the things that will be again.
So these are the kind of conversations they probably had after having, a long night of trying out some of the beer that they had made,
Or like... maybe after microdosing, who knows?
Yeah. All right. Did we establish that no one has had this one yet? I haven't.
I have not.
This is one I have not had. Normally when I go, the one time I've been there and the other times I've gotten beer from there, I always go for the IPA. So it's good to try something different from those guys. I have had some of their others, some of their sessions and dry hopped pilsners, but no, this one I have not had.
I have not. I don't think I've had any burial. I think this is the first burial I've had aside from the surf wax that we got that was, compromised, let's say, and a bit squishy. Yeah. So I did try it. It was, I don't want to rate anything based on what I had out of that can though. So I'll jump in because I haven't had any barrel. The first sip I got on this was not what I expected at all. It was, had a little bit of bitter to it for me, and not the light, clean Pilsner taste that I would expect. And I guess that's partly some of that German influence there a little bit, but it was. It has, the word I like to use a little bit for me, it has a little bit of a twang to it. So, I don't dislike it, but to me, it's just okay on this one. So I'm going to give it a 6.5. I think it's okay. I'd drink it again if I get handed one, but I'm probably not going to seek it out personally. What do you think, Jay?
I'm going to disagree with you. It does have a little bit of bitter on there, like you said, but I think a lot of that it can be attributed, just like you said, to the German aspects of it. But I also really think a lot of that has to do with it being unfiltered. I think they do a lot of their things that way. You'll see on some of the IPAs, they're hazy, juicy. You aren't going to be able to see through any of those. This, to me, I'm not normally a Pilsner guy. Take them or leave them. It's not something I'm going to drink at all most days, but I really like this one. I don't know, maybe it is because it is a little more bitter and it's got more of that almost, I guess, towards the pale ale side. Maybe, I don't know. I might be talking crazy, but I like it. I'm gonna go with an 8. I wish I could get more burial, and you guys know I've had to find ways to get it through the system. So
Jay likes to get it through the system. All right, here we go. First, before I go, you said that word again, Ben, and I said if I hear it again, I'm going to look it up. Twang. A strong ringing sound such as that made by the plucked string of a musical instrument or released bowstring. That's the noun. The verb, make or cause to make a twang. There is no other.
Yeah, I think that fits.
Twang, as in a taste.
I think it fits perfect.
A liquid.
I don't understand what you're complaining about.
Now, shall we look up tang?
Tang is the astronaut drink. Tasted like orange powder.
Wow. I'm so glad that we're taking time out of our
No. This is a long time
recording
coming. This is
schedule here.
Build up. Tang. Oh, I just lost it. A sharp, distinctive, often lingering flavor. Tang, which I tried to tell you from the first time that you said it at Ghost Train. A pungent odor.
Let it go, Andy. Let it go.
No. I can't let this go.
It still has a twang to me. It just rings in my ears when I drink it.
Okay, now that that's settled, geez.
I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Yes.
All right. I'm
also going to completely disagree with you, Ben. I think this is a great Pilsner. It's very balanced because when you think of, and it's the German, obvious German style. It is unlike like a Czech style, which is a little more hoppy, floral, with a bitter aftertaste at the end. This one, I don't get as much of that bitter aftertaste. I get a little floral, but it doesn't taste too hoppy. It's nice, like I said, balanced in the middle. And it feels heavier than a typical Pilsner. So it sits well on the palate and it's great flavor. I like how they used all the different hops, the German hops. And I'm there with Jay, 8.0. It's a good one.
Yeah, I think when Jay was running through his thoughts, my initial thought based on what he said was that I feel like I don't like it as much because it's less like a typical Pilsner that I'm used to and closer to like an IPA. Obviously not all the way there, but closer.
Yep.
And I feel like, Jay's typically not going to like a Pilsner. Typically, just depends on the Pilsner, but obviously we all have our outliers. But this one's a little closer again to that IPA, so I think that's why Jay likes it a little bit more.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it does feel closer to an IPA than
So,
like a other end of the
But a lot
spectrum
of the
Pilsner.
times, on the German side, you don't hear of a lot of German IPAs. They might have a pale ale or things like that. So it's an interesting find. We would be remiss if we didn't thank Wesley Rexroad for this. So
yeah, I was going to ask in the interim if it was the one he would provided. So I couldn't remember for sure, but yeah, saying that definitely Wes, who we've had on the show a few times, because we did a swap with him, and we, met Wes through our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. So come check that out if you haven't done so already. But yeah, definitely cheers to Wes for providing this. And unfortunately, he couldn't make this one with us, but we definitely appreciate.
Well, tell the truth, Ben. After the few episodes he did with us, his fame skyrocketed, and he doesn't. He just like, sorry, I got no time for that.
I thought he had served his community service by being on the show, and
and that helped him dig out of the ditch he was in, and now he's a big shot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Wes.
Yeah. That's going to be a 7.5 for the Shadowclock from Burial Beer Company. It is a Pilsner that is maybe a little closer to an IPA. I don't know. If you've had it, hopefully you have. Let us know what you think. I think that's a good description of it, but who knows? Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers, that notification bell. Check us out on all the social medias. Links are down below in the description. Come say hey in our Discord server. Maybe we'll do a beer swap with you, and you can end up on Hopped Up Beer Review just like Wes. Cheers to Wes again for providing this one. Definitely appreciate it, because this is one that we can't really get in our area. So it's nice to pull in some beer that we can't get and provide some that maybe he can't get. With that, for Andy wearing the eye patch in the attic, and Jay, I'm Ben. Arg mate? No. Cheers, mates.
Cheers,
cheers, mates.
I've got to poke fun at the eye patch. I got to. I mean, how can I not?